Good morning, all of you. I'm happy to be here, and I hope you have some patience with my beautiful English, because every time I get comments that I create my own English words. So, let's start. Usually, I start a presentation with Sister Morphine from Rolling Stones. And I start with doing that. Once I had to do a presentation about 8 years ago for a group of psychologists and psychiatrists, and I was the final speaker, and they were all sleeping after 3 days of talking and talking. And I saw my audience and I thought, shit, I don't wake them up. So I went to my car and I made a deal with the organization. They would pay me 100 euros for my presentation. I went to my car, took the CD out of the radio and put on Sister Morphine. And after 5 minutes I told them, and they really all wake up, what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen? And I said, if you really understood this song, you will learn a lot today. Have a good trip back home. Thank you for your attention. I feel sorry, but I didn't get the money. But I had fun about it. And just a year ago, I met one of those psychologists, and he said, Theo, I remember you. It was the best presentation from our whole conference. We start with the push-button voting system. We need to start to train all dealers to become a social quality dealer. Can you vote, please? You are a good audience. And then users told me, Theo, we need to have rules like all other organizations. And I said, okay, tell me, what kind of rules do we need in here? And one guy told me, you have to behave normal. I said, okay, write down on our whiteboard. And he put down on the board, you have to behave normal. And then other guy said, you're not allowed to fight in here. I said, yes, but that's behaving normal, isn't it? Yeah. So finally, we had a discussion from about 1 hour, and we decided only to have one rule: you behave normal. If I take a look around in all social care institutes, they have lists, 20, 30, 50 points, how to behave. Ridiculous. Don't pee on my table, I don't pee on yours. That's simple. So we went into the government, and we have a chat with all responsible members from the national government about drug-related issues. And during the break, during the meeting, we were not allowed to smoke. And then we asked him, after 1 hour of meeting, we said, can we have a break so we can take a smoke? And he said, of course, just in 5 minutes. Okay, great. And after 5 minutes, we went to the restaurant, and we were sitting with 40 of us around the tables, and we asked the man again, are we allowed to smoke? And he said, yes, of course, come on, I get you coffee. And then everybody took his foil, put on a very small amount of heroin, and in really 10 seconds, everybody got his hit. And he was looking, oh shit, I didn't need that. If I take a look around the safer use training, it started on the initiative of drug users. And now it's quite well known all over the world. Safer use training sessions are organized. If you take a look at the needle exchange, it started because of the need of users. If you talk about the whole harm reduction happening, it's based on wishes and demands of users. Decision makers follow us. And if you take a look at drug consumption rooms. Right now in the Netherlands we got 40 drug consumption rooms. It started on initiative of drug users and drug user organizations. So, yeah, again, the heroin prescription program, we asked for it for so many years. At the end, they will just follow us. Maybe it will be the same for the dealer, and of course, my final goal will be legalization in one or another way. A good quality dealer is responsible for his clients. And it's really, right now I got over 40 dealers trained, and they really agree with that. There is no or less drug use on the street and less drug-related problems for the other citizens. And for social workers, it's a good place to get in contact with clients. And for instance, if you would like to go with a client to a dentist, you can make the appointment. I pick you up at the address of the dealer. It's that simple. Maximum of 65 clients a day is quite enough if you got good clients, so he can earn his money and you don't need to take more risks, and it's better for the neighborhood. No selling to youngsters, and only selling for money and not for sex, not for stolen materials. And so many dealers, they're really happy with this kind of rules. So it really works. And I had this presentation last year in Portugal, and there was a guy from Brazil, and he said, Theo, we are just doing this the same in Brazil. We have to do it more and more.
When does recovery actually start? Does it start with total abstinence? Or when you stop using your drug of choice? When you get your first script? Does it start with only weekend using? The minute somebody says, my life is unmanageable in active addiction and I want to change this, that's the minute that they've entered recovery.
Recovery is based on what you decide, it's based on what your decision is, and you have to decide at what point you feel you're ready for something called recovery, and then what your recovery will look like. The whole kind of one-size-fits-all model has to be put in the bin. The t-shirt that Pete's got on is not going to fit me. I'm a size 24, she's a 12. It is not a drugs worker's job to tell people how to live their lives. It's a drug worker's job to say, what is it you need? Not put this t-shirt on because every size will fit you. I am absolutely sick to death of going to conferences where they say, there's the abstinence people, and there's the harm reduction people, and never the two shall meet. And actually, it's the same journey. Eve would not have got here if she'd not been with a good key worker in a CDT who said, let's have a look at all the options, let's see what you need. He didn't just give her the one-size-fits-all model.